Comparing alternative portfolios. We will now use RiskSim table to generate 3 comparable scenarios between the different optimization objectives. Once again, the RiskSim table function comes in handy. 133. On cell I4, write the name of the scenario to compare, minimize standard dev. 134. Proceed to copy the positions of each asset on range J4:M4 from the previous optimization outcome: gold, 111. Silver, 1997. Platinum, 49. Palladium, 14. 135. On cell A2, modify the sim table function to incorporate a third element on the list. The function should now look like this: equals RiskSim table H2:H4, RiskStatic A3. 136. Modify B2 to incorporate a third element on each search range. The function should now look like this: equals index I2:I4, $A$2. 137. Copy cell B2 and paste it to the range C2:F2. This range now contains index functions to adequately retrieve the scenario that is being simulated. 138. Click on Simulation Settings. Modify the number of iterations to 5000 and the number of simulations to 3. When you write 2 or more simulations, a simulation names box appears. 139. Click on the Copy from Range button in order to make a reference to range I2:I5 that contains the names of the scenarios to be simulated that are driven by the 3-element sim table function. This saves you the time of having to type in the names for each one of your simulations. These names eventually become the titles of your simulated charts. 140. Click OK twice to close these dialog windows. 141. Start your simulation with the automatically show output graph icon turned on. In conjunction with RiskSim table, which now contains 3 elements, the simulation will now consist of 3 distinct simulations with 5000 iterations each, for which the sim table function on cell A2 will modify its value from 1 to 2 to 3 respectively, in order to retrieve the corresponding portfolios. If the simulation process were to be run with the automatically show output graph mode on, then you would see, during the simulation, continuous updates of the output being simulated. If the simulation process were to be run with demo mode on, then you would see the visual update of Excel and the output chart, 15,000 times. This usually helps your audience understand the nature of the Monte Carlo simulation, but it is certainly extremely time-consuming. Fortunately, on the simulation progress window, you are able to control the speed and the visual capabilities during simulation. The first 3 icons on the simulation progress window allow you to either turn on or off the display of the summary window, the visual updating of Excel's recalculations, and the visual updating of the output chart any number of times during the simulation run. These features mean a slower simulation, but visually enhance the Monte Carlo simulation. The 3 next icons on the simulation progress window let you play, pause or stop your simulation process, whereas the very last icon allows you to display the working process of each one of the CPUs available during the run. 142. When the simulation finishes, place your cursor on output cell G284 and browse results. The following distribution curve appears for the results of the first simulation. We need to make certain slight changes in order to make comparisons. 143. Click on the Select Simulation Number to Display button in order to show all simulations at once. 144. Stretch the Statistics section wall in order to be able to see all 3 columns at once. 145. Place your cursor on top of the probabilistic bar and right-click on it. At Risk possesses a context-sensitive right-click optionality. Depending on where you are placed, the pop-up menu that appears will change its list and allow you to choose from alternatives that are relevant according to your context. Choose Delimiter options. 146. Modify the number of delimited curves from 2, the default setting, to 3 and close the window. 147. Make sure your vertical delimiters are placed at $200,000 and $300,000. The scale of the chart may have already been placed in millions for the x-axis. This might mean that the values that need to be written on top of the vertical delimiters have to be 0.2 and 0.3, respectively.